still alive. That's too bad. We had a bet going.
Can I fly you somewhere today? Music to my ears. Well, the Harkonnens love their docking fees, so that's gonna cost a little. Well, all right.
We don't trade with Atreides scum or their sympathizers.
Yes, I see you. State your business. That remains to be seen. What I can do is provide access to... If you have already got all that, I can set you up with what you need to start refining those resources. Grigori Harkonnen is the village lord. Has been for nearly 2 centuries. But since the destruction of Carthage, Glossu-Raban often appears. Much to Grigori's displeasure. One can easily imagine a fair number of reasons. Glossu-Raban is not a subtle man. His presence is to the displeasure of just about everyone he meets. Whatever do you mean? I merely said... Now, let us get on with it before you're... That depends on what you are looking for, friend. Whether I tell you or not depends on how... Now? I think you'd better try again another time. I'm feeling unappreciated.
I see you. I see you. Just a moment. I mean no offense by my delay. My limbs do not respond as quickly as they once did. You will be wanting a dram of my water, is that right? Oh, I have lived here all my life. Even so, I don't think I can tell you very much. My father knew so much of this place, a story for every moment. He was a fine man. It's been Harko village since before I was born, but my father told me that not much before my time. It was called Gerona, before the Harkonnen came. That name is lost to my memory, but many riches they had. My father spoke of them many times. I remember because he wished the Harkonnen never came. Father said life before the Harkonnen was hard, but not cruel. The Harkonnen changed everything. Oh, so many things. Old stories of our people, songs he taught me. But there was one thing I still remember, because it always set my mind to dreaming. Also, he said that Harko hides a great secret. I know every old place has secrets, but this was different. If you find it, I trace my blood through theirs, yes. But we here have grown far from our brothers and sisters out in the far reaches of the desert. I myself have never even seen the inside of a siege. Oh, I know nothing of their world, but unfortunate for someone like you. Meeting them would be, this is their world, their home. Out friend bring nothing but misery. To the Fremen, you may serve only as water for the tribe.
I'm going to stop you right there and say straight off that for any repair, construction, or renovation, so don't even ask. Best I can do. War's great for repair work, but the supply chain's as gone as the Fremen.
Hello. If you're planning, is it not the reason we are all here? Spice, with spice everything is possible, and it's right out there for the taking. Avoid? Everywhere is as good as any to get yourself murdered on Arrakis. But you might want to avoid anything promising something worse than death. No, friend, that is not all. But I don't listen to a word from Asmara Effendi or any of her smuggler comrades. At least the scavengers know they are scavengers. Smugglers are hardly any different. But that is not how they see it. According to them, any trade not claimed by a house is theirs. Like they are the only legitimate thieves in this world. Little emperors they are. Of course. Though I can see why you might think otherwise. I don't look like those other sand eaters, right? Too young, too clean. Yes, I will admit I'm spending less time on the dunes these days. To be honest, I've done well. Eager to get out there, are we? The riches you've dreamt of seem within reach, don't they? When you first start out, you will be able to do little more than grab it with your hands, but you won't get much that way. It tends to slip through the fingers. It's best to get a static compactor. Well, down the road, when you're ready, we can talk about getting your hands on a... Where there are worms, there is spice. Plenty right here. But the deep desert, out beyond the shield wall, is where the real fortunes lie. For the time, you had best cut your teeth within reach of Harko. Just watch for those purples. Hello again.
without question, for doubt is the path of destruction. Trust in the wisdom of House Harkonnen to guide us to glory.
Welcome to Hannavars. Follow 3 simple rules and you'll have a good time. Rule number 1. We maintain a segregated lounge. You must stay within your own designated cast area. The Na Familia will not abide a low-born interloper, and I don't want to hear the bitching. This rule is for your own protection. They sit around waiting for any excuse to invoke Canley and kill you where you stand. Rule number 2. All drinks cost what they cost. You pay up front, no haggling, and no discounts for any Harkonnens. Don't even ask. Rule number 3, stay out of the back room. It's off limits. I'm Anushka Hannavar. This is my place. The same thing that happens to any poor savages that don't submit to the Imperial yoke. My world had its own primitives that suffered the same fate. The ones who adapt survive. The Fremen, at its heart, a village like any other. At least it was before they came. Grigori Harkonnen was an unusually agreeable village lord, especially for a Harkonnen. But then Carthage was destroyed, and all those great house bastards took up here in Harko. Glossu the Beast Raban and his snake of a mentat. A name I shall not utter lest his evil gaze turns upon me. Have to hand it to Gregory, though. He played it exactly right and stood aside before the beast could push him from the spire. I speak the truth, that is all. The beast can eat Yazla. Our loyalties were to Count Abelard Raban, not his demon son. The Count used to sail with Father on whaling expeditions. It was Abelard who presented us with this beer hall in gratitude for ending Krasinok's reign of terror. But I think Father looks at the boon as more of a retirement gift from an old friend for a life of loyal service. It said Glossu strangled his father to death with his bare hands. I pray it's not true, but it said that's how the beast got his name. Wise? No. But wisdom is in shorter supply than water on Arrakis. I say what I think, and there's nothing they can do about it. I know where the bodies are buried. I know their big secret. A hidden truth about this town that would bury them all if it ever found the right ears. And they know I have contingencies in place. Should anything happen, it's a stalemate. I mess with them and they can't do anything about it. But they know I'm stuck here. Father is too old to go anywhere else. And I won't leave him. So they've got me where they want me. Until he... Because you've never been to my home world. Every millimeter of stonecrete, every glass portal, and every shape beam in here is meant to invoke a unique construction detail found only on the ice planet, Lankivale. In truth, we are shamelessly borrowing from the renowned design mentat Hansia Einwald, but I like to think he would be flattered. If he wasn't dead. The nautical theme and ornamentation celebrates our homeworld's most famous export. The magnificent and priceless fur, the bones of which hang suspended above the beer hall as our drum. This particular specimen was an especially infamous and fearsome beast. Me? That's a good laugh. No, that would be my father, Ilyich. He was a whaleboat captain in his younger days. In fact, Krasinok sent more than 30 boats to the bottom before Father finally took it. 11 men and 4 limbs were lost in the 8-day running battle with the beast. Narrow harpoons bristling from its hide that now hangs behind the Baron's rather ample habitus as a fancy dress cape.
A kitten wanders in from the dark. Kitten. If you needed to know that, you'd know.
Alliances with rival factions is an act of betrayal. Loyalty to House Harkonnen is non-negotiable.
Welcome, stranger. What business have you? If you haven't heard of House Alexin, you will soon. Our influence grows rapidly into hearts. We're traditional farmers and producers. We feed half the Imperium at any given time and make sure that nobody... Oh, but you're wrong. Arrakis has the greatest crop of all. Melange. A part of my mission here is to study the methods of harvesting and find options. Alas, I have said too much on this topic. I'm not really the person to ask. You need to have signed a contract of allegiance to a major house. The name is Graham Candace, diplomatic envoy for... Truth be told, I'm just a glorified farmer. More at ease with gourd seeds than politics. Well, I may still have dirt under my fingernails, but I know enough about politics to avoid just giving out that information. Perhaps. I've been told to find the right sort of help to achieve our long-term goals here on Arrakis. In payment, our vote on...
Welcome, fellow citizen. How is it that the Imperial... There isn't much to tell. One provincial backwater is much the same as the next. While Harko has the makings of something more, I'm afraid that potential will never be... While I'm certain that Count Raban has the village's best interests at heart, I'm afraid he is all... And unfortunately, Neo-Carthag is both over time and over budget, which leaves the Count... And Harko suffers as a result. Why Count Raban doesn't simply restore the village's previous and right... It's Count Raban's own cousin, Grigori Harkonnen. Grigori was the custodian of Harko, long before the Beast and his retinue arrived, and will be so again when Neo-Carthag is finally... Not even the Baron himself can predict that. No, from sabotage to sandstorm damage to the theft of key construction materials, which are then offered back to Count Raban at an exorbitant markup. Thus far, Neo-Carthag has been an unmitigated disaster. Believe me, I've seen...
Bind us together as a proud people. Embrace the armor. Dissemination of unauthorized information.
I've not seen you before. If you are asking where my allegiance lies, my sisters and brothers are smugglers. Who can say? Perhaps they're in the sand. Perhaps not. By being reliable. By being more than a common thief, like Einar over there. Not the word I would use for that thieving addict. But yes, the spice Of that I have no doubt. He is the kind to put his hand in another's pocket and shout, "Thief!"
trust only the messages approved by House Harkonnen. Armed security.
I knew you'd be back. Only a matter of time. I assume you mean the Samuta and not me. I am quite particular about my... Not myself, no. But after Mother died, my father found solace in the... Now the little that is left of him... Kahraman Rais is my name. Mechanic. Not the only... There are a lot of people in Harko you don't want to deal with. Some would... This place has a way of making people look around. This isn't a paradise like Chusuk. On Arrakis, every day is a battle. And Harko fights dirty. You can try to do the right thing, but eventually, like a worm, it pulls you down to where you're doing. It's a question of survival. And the shape it... But listen to me. Going on... but I'm sure you mean what can we do for each other, huh? But I've got access to vehicle... What's on your mind?
I don't recognize the pattern of your footfalls. Who are you? You're in dubious luck, then. I am an adept of the Ginaz school. Though I'm but a mangled memory of Saren Valen, a memory is enough to thrash you. Keep your distance. Seems there's an old custom on this cruel planet to cast. Several curs accosted me to uphold that tradition. Really? Oh, that puts a smile on my bitter mouth and earns my kind regards. You've either received too little or too much training for me to be able to properly shape you. Oh, we meet again. You find me felled by the slings and arrows of calamity. If you have eyes, I must appear a beggar, blind and... Now, I am a walking that is who I was. In the days of honorable duels, shining steel, and laughter. As I... Betrayal upon betrayal made me, as you see. My enemies stripped I do not. My trust in others is as mutilated as my body. More than mere blade slingers, a swordmaster is a force unto themselves. They can repair force shields, plan military campaigns, and improvise weapons. A swordmaster is a thread to a grand tapestry, an ancient tradition, a celebration of human excellence, defying mediocrity. If there is romance in our image, it is not the glorification of violence, but the celebration of humanity in the face of the cold. The Sardaukar are soulless homunculi, machine men with machine minds, products of industrialized combat, the essence of artless brutality. A swordmaster seeks to be everything they are not. A swordmaster, the Sardaukar, are frightful and hard, but brittle in the end. A true swordmaster shatters such wretched... From our homeworld on Ginaz, we trace our roots all the way back into the long ago. My house fell, defeated by House Moritani in the War of Assassins. I would be saddened if the same fate befell House Atreides. As you wish.
Greetings, stranger. What can I do for you? My name is Darina Danil. I have the distinct privilege of serving the Landsraad representatives, though mine is a double calling. I'm also a chef sought out by the nobles of many houses. Good. That is not untrue. Our society produces paragons among assassins and poisoners, as well as culinary masters. As you say, our food is that good. The things I can do with Maro's deer would make a paranoid man risk it all. Besides, ours is a society that cleaves to the laws of Kanli, and ours is a culture where politeness and coyness walk hand in hand. It is vulgar to say who is and who is not a practicing assassin. I will say that Harko village offers multiple levels of opportunity for my house. House Harkonnen is a house of appetites, after all. From our homeworld of Drem, House Spinette produces the finest assassins deployed throughout the Imperium. One without the other is unbalanced and slovenly. An ill-prepared meal without manners or class. We cleave to the laws of Kanli. We perfected the precepts of a war of assassins. Following these rules, our precise discipline in the art of death actually saves lives across the Imperium. That is why we've come to Arrakis. Why we lobbied among the lands...
adversaries.
Welcome, stranger. If you come seeking treatment, I have all manner of locally... Do not underestimate the potency of ground Zithtrakian, and an amount no greater than the head of a pin can instinct... On more primitive worlds, they believe it is magic. What is there to tell? I am a simple herbalist, plying my trade in a... Well, whoever told you that is mistaken. While I do offer healing service...
You are not recognized by the Landsraad.
Without a
Refusing to conform to Harkonnen directives is a direct challenge to power. Accept our rules or face the consequences.
Welcome back. That's a special drink. Fresh cedric juice is hard to come by on Arrakis. Was there anything else with that? You're the second one looking for Tuco in the past week. I don't know and I don't want to know. I've got enough drama in my life. Same thing I'm gonna tell you. Most of my clientele don't want to be found. Half the Blackhearts in the basin know the passphrase. That and a Solari will get you a cup of Kara sent you, huh? I warned her about dealing with Tuco. He's as greasy as it gets. Tuco must have finally ripped off the wrong mark. And they want him dead. Tuco's a slippery bastard. Won't be easy if he does... See that room at the back? Normally, I would advise anyone and everyone to stay the head. It's a Samut lounge. The smugglers use it to coordinate their Harko operation. He doesn't have a choice if he wants to avoid pissing off Fenrir any more than he already has. The smugglers keep a ledger in there to coordinate dead drops. If you want to find him, you need to walk into that back room like you belong there and check the book for... It's written in code, of course. But if you can look it over... Because you've never... Every and every In truth, we are What can I do for you? Welcome back. That's a special drink. Was there anything else with that? Well, this is just an informed guess, but I'm pretty sure that code
Questioning the authority of House Harkonnen is an act of defiance. Report any suspicious authorities immediately.
Can I fly you somewhere today? Music to my... The basin is a pretty big place. Could you narrow it down a little? Alright, suit just... Can I fly you somewhere today? Music to... The basin is a pretty... I never miss the chance. Let's move before...
identify his